Do you know that in Asian countries like China, Korea, Japan, and Singapore, almost 85 to 90% of the people have started wearing glasses? And now, slowly this trend is moving towards Western countries. So the question here is, why this sudden trend is on rise? Just a few decades ago, in a class of 50 kids, there were only 4 or 5 kids wearing glasses. But now, the number has jumped to almost 50% of the kids wearing glasses. It's a crisis the world is turning a blind eye to. Myopia, or near-sightedness, or short-sightedness, is an eye disorder where people can see close-up objects clearly, but their distance vision is blurry. For example, they can read a book. Wait, let's be real. They can watch a video on their phone without facing a problem. But the distance vision is blurry, so they need glasses. After all, not everyone can be a Spider-Man. Myopia is an unrecognized pandemic, or an epidemic rather, targeting the young, and it is predicted that by 2050, every other human being in the world will have glasses. Why is this happening? How can we protect our eyes in the world of tablets and smartphones? What are the real reasons behind myopia? In today's video, you'll find answers to these questions by understanding the latest scientific studies. High myopia is the leading cause of blindness in China, Japan, and Taiwan. In China, 90% of the teens are myopic. Same for Taiwan. 90% high schoolers are myopic. In Japan, more than 60%, and in South Korea, 97%. What about US and Europe? Well, below 50%, but rising sharply. The main reason is excessive use of mobiles and computers. And just a few years ago, it was television or reading in the dark with a flashlight. So the main problem is the lifestyle of children. Children under the age of 18, when they're continuously busy with phones, laptops, or computers, then there is a specific signal that goes out to their brain that seeing things that are near to your eyes is most important, and seeing things that are far is not so important. And this causes certain changes to take place in the eyes. The length of the eyes becomes longer, and the number for your eyeglasses increases. When we are continuously looking at the screens for hours and hours, then the blink rate of our eyes gets reduced. A normal person is supposed to blink about 15 to 18 times a minute. But when you're looking at the screen, then this blink rate goes down to 8 to 9 times a minute. And this causes dryness in our eyes. And sometimes the eyes start watering because the body tries to compensate for that dryness by producing more water. Then there is something called astenopic symptoms, like your eyes get strained when you spend too much time looking at the screens. You get headaches and mild heaviness in the eyes. Next, when you're on the screen, especially at the night time, there is a blue light coming out of the screen, and that gives signal to our brain that it's still daylight. As a result, our sleep cycle gets disturbed. Next, your posture gets disturbed as well. Usually, people are sitting with hump down. They don't maintain an upright posture, or the screens are not at a proper eye level. And this causes musculoskeletal problems as well. So how can we fix this? In case of adults, they have to use the screen because of their work. So what's suggested by the doctors is that if your screen work is long, then you should follow something called 20-20-20 rule. What does that mean? That after every 20 minutes, take a break for 20 seconds and look 20 feet far. Give your eyes some break, and if this doesn't make your eyes comfortable, then definitely go see a doctor. Second, children are spending less time outdoors. Myopia is often called a disease of affluence, a disease that is more common in rich countries as compared to poor countries. Because with economic growth, children start studying more, people start working on computers more, and spend less time outdoors, causing widespread of myopia. So how can we protect kids from getting myopia? Why is it necessary for kids to spend time outside in the sun? What exactly happens in our eyes when we spend time outside? The exposure to daylight is the main variable behind myopia. It was found that when we get exposure to bright light or sunlight, the dopamine production in our retina increases. And dopamine regulates the growth of our eyes so that our eyes don't elongate too much. But if there is a lack of dopamine, the eyes start elongating. So how much daylight is needed exactly to increase dopamine production in our retina? Well, it is unclear, but outdoor light levels can be up to 500 times brighter than indoor light, and it plays a very crucial role in myopia prevention. It is very important for the parents to limit the children's screen time and encourage them to go play outdoors. If there is exposure to sunlight for at least 2 hours daily, then this problem will reduce tremendously. Looking at distant objects helps children to use their eye muscles to its fullest extent so that they don't get weak. In 2020, an average 8-year-old was spending over 5 hours a day glued to the screens. And that's just for fun. Add more screen time to that for schoolwork, and that made it worse. But that was during COVID times. But now, kids are free to go out and play. Kids need to detach from their mobiles and tablets and spend time out in the open. Myopia is on the rise because we as humans are trying to interfere with nature. We don't want to take support from nature, and that's when the problems start appearing in the body. So when it comes to solutions, we should take both factors into consideration. First, in some people, myopia does actually happen due to genetic reasons. So if your parents have myopia, then your chance of having myopia increases. And since our genetics is out of our control, we cannot do anything about it. So let's focus on the second factor, which is also the most important, the time spent outdoors, which has the highest impact. Kids should spend time outdoors in the sunlight as much as possible. However, when you do this, don't forget to apply sunscreen. And second, try to reduce the screen time activities. Kids should focus more on physical activities where your eyes can focus on distance and closer objects. As a result, your eyes are not always strained, such as when you're looking at your phone or reading books. These solutions have already been implemented in many countries. In China, controlling myopia has become a national priority. For kids up to 7 years old, written exams have been terminated in China. Some schools have even placed metal bars on their desk so that while reading or writing, kids don't get too close to the books. Apart from this, restrictions have been put on playtime for video games. Similar steps have also been taken by the Singapore government as well, so that the kids spend more time playing outside. These steps should be implemented all around the world. Outdoor time should be doubled starting from preschool. Now these are all the preventive measures. But what about those who already have glasses? Unfortunately, myopia is an irreversible problem. Well, you can definitely get a surgery done, a LASIK treatment, but that's all about it. So if you like this video, make sure to give me a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching.